Eagles family, what is going back on? It's Kevin Taylor here. This is Birds Fly Talk, and I'm so happy to be back in the studio recording for you guys, serving it up the only way we know how, and that's big midnight green style. But look, on a serious note, before we even get into this Fly Talk, I just want to thank all of you guys, all the fans, even the other Eagles pages and friends that I've made and that we Birds Fly Talk have made in this journey. A lot of you have reached out to me. As many of you know, my grandmother passed away just recently, which was the cause of, taking a little break, little sabbatical, time to be with the family. She was a pillar in my family, and she'll be really sadly missed, but she's in a better place. No more pain, none of that stuff. So I just want to say thank you to all you guys who reached out to me, told me to take my time, and were really there for me. Eagles fans in Philly, we get a bad rap a lot of times, from national media and all those things like that. But just, the way you guys acted and the love that you guys showed me and the entire Birds Fly Talk crew, from, sending a DM or commented on a picture, even reaching out to my personal profiles, all that stuff, it really meant a lot to me. And it just shows how excellent and how wonderful Philadelphia is. Our fans are all over the country and the world too. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. And I'm back. Birds Fly Talk is better than ever, and I want to kick this off with a new kind of format here. I guess we'll just call it Fly Talk episode 1. But look, a lot of things have happened since I last spoke with you guys. We put out some comedy, things like that, and I think we did like one more like straight talk or something like that. But, obviously the Eagles beat the Rams today. There were a lot of questions going into this game, especially after the loss to the Seahawks, and that was a really discouraging game. But, I heard, I can't remember who, I think it was John Marks on 94 WIP called playing in Seattle the Bermuda Triangle, and it really is. Weird things happen when you play there. And so obviously, going in there didn't perform the way we wanted to, but really came back with a statement win, 43, what was it, 43 to, I can't remember the exact score off the top of my head, but I think it was 43-34. But anyway, coming back, big statement win in the Coliseum in LA against, who we were tied with the top scoring offense in the league. And so you really want to see the Eagles be able to come out there and beat a good team. All this past week, all I've been hearing from everyone is, the Eagles aren't good. They've only beaten one good team, the Panthers. What can they do? And to many, that is true. We had to play who was on our schedule, and we played a lot of last place teams and teams that didn't have winning records, excuse me. So when you look at that, it's like, as a fan, I'm like, yo, I want to beat somebody, and I want to beat them bad. And this Rams game, of like all the games, now Seattle was really important to me personally because I just want to beat the Seahawks. I see them as an elite powerhouse, and I want to be up there with them. So that game was really important to me. But just seeing what the Rams were doing, and obviously, chip on our shoulder because we think, Wentz is better than Goff and all those things. And even Ajayi, like that was once story that I didn't see come up a lot either. But Jay Ajayi was in the same, draft class as Todd Gurley and Melvin Gordon. So I know he played with a chip on his shoulder coming into this game. Like, hey, look, like I want to show that I was just as good as them. The only reason why I slipped in the draft was due to injury, things like that. And I definitely think that he is up there, and I think he's an elite, running back, and we definitely have him on his team. And I've been saying this for so long now since he's come, well, not so long, but about a month now. Let's use him. He was averaging before this game like 7.9 yards a carry. Before this game, 229 yards off of 29 carries. That's like, you multiply that. If that was his entire season and you multiply that by 4, that's coming out right under, 1,000 yards, not including playoffs. So obviously a new, situation for Ajayi definitely helped him. And you can see that in the way they used him. They relied on him at the end of that game, in times where they kept Blunt on the sidelines. And look, it just is the way it is. Like, this is a business. This is something like you got to want to win. And Ajayi gives you the best chance to win on the football field. Corey Clement did some excellent things too. I love him as a change of pace back. And Blunt is still good too, But Blunt, he doesn't pass block as well. And so because of that, when he's on the field, it's either play action or he's running the ball. and that kind of hurts the Eagles there. But really, that's not the main thing that I want to talk about here. The main thing is that our fearless leader, our field general, our Wentz, Carson Wentz, went down today. And so what does that mean for the Philadelphia Eagles? Well, I'm not going to sit and speculate, what that injury actually entails. Obviously, it could be pretty bad. And by the time this video comes out, we already might know specifically what it is. Now, from where I stand right now, I'm recording this video, and I look over at one of the TVs, and the Ravens are up on the Steelers, and they just, of course, take away the time limit. But it's 3rd and 10, fourth quarter, and they're up 31-23 with 10:50 left. So you know where I'm at in the real world while I'm making this video. And from what I saw is they said, look, like, obviously it's a left ACL. They don't know the severity. I just saw reports that said that the test that they ran, obviously like the ACL test, didn't show a complete tear. So I don't know if it's torn, if it's just, sprained very badly, or if it's a complete tear. But they said the test didn't show a complete tear. So with that, there is some optimism there, obviously, and they're going to take that and have an MRI tomorrow. Excuse me, and go from there. But I kind of was trying to get a sense. Obviously, Carson Wentz took to Twitter, congratulate the team, NFC East champs. And that's pretty big too. Definitely proud of those guys. 11-2 is nothing to sneeze at. And obviously now it's just about getting home field advantage. We'll talk about that in a second. But look, Carson Wentz went down, and with or without him, we have to move forward. This team has to move forward. We have to, the train has to keep going. And that's exactly why you bring a guy like Nick Foles in here, Nick Foles, who has won a lot of games in this league. And the team he has around him now is better than the team he had when he went 27-2. So thinking about that, obviously my prayers go out to Wentz. That's who I want leading this team. That's who I feel most confident in. That's who this team feels most confidently in. But reality will be reality, and whatever the circumstances are, we're going to all have to, accept that and rally behind whoever is leading this team. I personally believe there's enough leadership on this team. I believe that there's enough experience on this team to make the run that we need to make and to get the job done. And you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Nick Foles is a very well-respected guy, and obviously the game plans are going to be a little bit different. We're not going to be running those, read options with the ones we ran with Wentz if Wentz isn't in. But hopefully, it doesn't come to that. Hopefully we, can maybe shut down Wentz for the rest of the season, and he comes back, after 4 weeks and is ready for the playoffs if we get that first-round bye. Now, as I mentioned, first-round bye, that home field advantage has become so much more important. Hopefully, we, like I said, being able to shut Carson Wentz down for a month. But if we do have to go out with Nicky Six, having a home field advantage and be able to play in front of our home crowd is so important for this team. The advantage that the Eagles have when they play in Philadelphia is unbelievable. I mean, I'm at the games. You guys who are at the games, you know what kind of atmosphere it is there. It's loud, it's intense, and it's a home field advantage like no other. And especially when the weather gets colder, oh man, I can't wait. And I know you guys can't either. But obviously, NFC East champs, it's kind of bittersweet right now. We're all holding on right now for Carson. And so if it is Nick Foles, I definitely want to see higher doses of Jay Ajayi, especially since I have him on my fantasy team too. That's kind of like a cardinal sin for me. I don't normally pick Eagles players on my team, unless it's like, I have Carson Wentz in one league. But I'm not in the playoffs in that league. But I had Jay Ajayi when he was on the Dolphins, had him sitting on the bench, and he got traded here. It was like a Christmas gift because I knew he was going to be productive here. But right now, very happy with this team, very happy with, the way they played today. Showed a lot of grit, a lot of toughness. Like I said, the Rams were probably going to end up seeing them again. I just have that kind of feeling, even though the way that things worked out, the Seahawks were trying to come back to win that division. It's still possible, but right now, with the way things are looking, we're top of the NFC as a whole. We're up a game on the Minnesota Vikings, and we have the common opponent tiebreaker as well, I believe, too. So, look, I mean, trying to break down some of the things that have been going on. Obviously, we're going to keep you guys up to date. But, look, from the bottom of my heart, like I said before, thank you guys so much for everything that you've done for us. You know, the support you guys have given me personally in this tough time. I mean, you know, this past, you know, since Thanksgiving when we lost her, and just having family come in and trying to prepare that, and being out of work, like my real job, my personal job, being out of there, it definitely was not easy at all, and it still isn't. I mean, it doesn't really feel real yet, but, you know, having my Eagles, you know, definitely makes things a lot better, and being able to, you know, see this run that they're going on and experience that with my family, and especially my grandfather, who's been a season ticket holder for 50 years now. It's truly something special. So I'm looking forward to the future. Guys, Birds Fly Talk is back and better than ever. Kevin Taylor, thank you guys so much. Comment in the video, and I'll definitely get back to you. And to all of you guys who reached out again, thank you so very much. Fly, Eagles, fly. NFC East champs, baby. We've come a long way and still got so much more to achieve. Birds Fly Talk, excuse me. Kevin Taylor, I'm out of here. Peace.